Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite sports icons and athletes. I'm Boom Gonzalez. And in tonight's game plan, we'll list down some key takeaways as we wrap up the 2022 NBA Conference Finals.
We'll also find out how the Phoenix Fuelmasters are looking to start strong in the upcoming All-Filipino Cup of the PBA. And we'll check in with the Southeast Asian Games back-to-back bronze medalists, the Philippine Women's Beach Volleyball team. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game.
Good evening. The 2022 NBA Finals are set. The Golden State Warriors will face the Boston Celtics, who just eliminated the Miami Heat in an epic 7-game series. But before we dive into the championship duel, it's time for us to break down our key takeaways from the conference finals. And joining us tonight is 4-time UAP champion. We welcome back Coach Willie Wilson.
Coach Willie, you know, I don't know how you feel watching the Celtics making it to the finals, but you know, I'm sure there's a lot of emotions there.
Well, I did predict that they would make it to the NBA Finals by putting the Miami Heat out of their misery. But as a Laker fan, seeing our arch rivals make it to the NBA Finals, it's not a pretty sight.
And you not being in the playoffs, that adds a little salt to
we
the
don't
wound.
need to.
Oh, yeah.
we don't need to bring that up.
I'm just stating a fact. All right, well, let's start with their opponent first, the Miami Heat. Tell us about Jimmy Butler. What are your thoughts on him? Not just Game 6, Game 7, but I mean, the whole playoffs. He really delivered for Miami. I think he had the most number of 40-point performances, if I'm not mistaken.
He pretty much channeled his inner Dwayne Wade. Mm-hmm. That's how I felt the way he played. He injured his knee, Game 3, still fought through it, put the team on his back. You know, the Miami Heat have a lineup, I think 4 or 5 undrafted players.
Yeah.
They have one undrafted player, Duncan Robinson, who signed the biggest contract for an undrafted player.
$90 million, yeah.
Yeah, they have the veteran, Udonis Haslem, undrafted. They started an undrafted player in Max Struss.
Yeah.
And they have one coming off the bench in Gabe Vincent. So for him to, tug that lineup amidst all the injuries that they were suffering to Game 7 of the conference finals, I think was amazing.
It felt like a Heat culture team for sure, that if they didn't have that culture, they didn't have that readiness, they probably wouldn't make it that far. Of course, Jimmy Butler, as you said, very big. Now we move on to the other eliminated team here, that's the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic. Almost there, not quite for Luka. I'm not sure what he needed to get past a Golden State team that just felt really primed for the championship. What do you make of him?
Well, what I make of him is that my prediction was correct. Mm-hmm. I'm taking Luka over the man that you picked. Mm-hmm. He was able to, again, just like Jimmy Butler, tow that team to the conference finals, although it was a gentleman's sweep. They lost in 5. Mm-hmm. But what they lacked was size. Yeah. They lost the rebounding battle in every single game that they lost by double digits. So I hate to say it, but maybe they should have kept Kristaps. I mean, again, he's sometimes he's here, sometimes he's there, but you can't deny the size that he provides, 7'3", rebound, block shots.
The style of play that they played, or at least for this year, especially when Kristaps has gone already, are you on board with that? Having Luka dominate the ball, 70% of the time probably, bringing down the ball, 1-4 open sometimes, that kind of stuff. Are you on board with this going forward for them if they want to chase the title?
It's a 5-out system, equal opportunity. You just have the ball in Luka's hands. He's the one making the plays, making the decisions. If they can find players that can complement Luka, that can shoot outside, but can also defend, and when Luka is not making his shots, contribute. I mean, they didn't have that in that series. Jalen Brunson wasn't always there. Dinwiddie wasn't always there. Although he was there in Game 5, I think they need that guy that can, lift the team up when Luka doesn't have it all.
Or when he's not on the floor.
Yeah,
or when he's not on the floor. There you go.
Good point.
Boston. I know we don't want to talk about it, but
We have to. We have to.
Right. They went through KD, Kyrie. They went through Giannis without Middleton. Yes.
Yeah.
They went through Jimmy Butler, although they really weren't able to contain Jimmy Butler through the series. But it's got to mean something, right?
Yeah.
They're calling it revenge season, beating the teams that eliminated them in the
In
past.
previous years.
Okay,
And,
you know,
and Brown and Tatum finally getting
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, I like that you brought up all of those buts. They beat the Nets, but they weren't complete.
I didn't
they
say
were-
that. But.
No,
Okay,
no.
they-
You heard that.
they-
You heard the
okay,
butt.
right, but you were thinking it.
You're putting words in my mouth.
Sure.
They beat Milwaukee, but Milwaukee didn't have Middleton. They beat the Miami Heat, but they were incomplete. Injured, wounded. So I think that they did a great job this postseason, this season in general. Defensively, we saw the switchability. They have the Defensive Player of the Year. Jaylen Brown is a solid one-on-one defender, and good shot blocker in Robert Williams. My favorite player, unfortunately, is Grant Williams, and he has to be on the Celtics. I love how he can guard 1 through 5. Very, very smart defender. He's a little, one of those little chubby guys that just does a little bit of everything.
Well, I was going to say that, Coach Willie was going to praise the Boston Celtics, but he's a hater. So we move on to Golden State now.
The series. Yeah, why not?
No buts probably here because of their lineup. And we have to talk about the type of five that they can bring out. They can bring out a five of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, and of course, again, the fifth guy can go wherever you want. Right? Draymond for sure, right?
Yeah.
So what do you make of this team?
Again, similar to what Boston does, so much versatility, but Golden State just does it on a much more dynamic level. Again, we talked about Luka, how if Luka's not on the floor or if Luka's not bringing it, who's going to pick up the slack? Is it going to be Dinwiddie? Is it going to be Brunson? With Golden State, if Curry is not having a Curry game, you know what Klay's capable of doing. You've seen what Jordan Poole is capable of doing.
And Wiggins
Andrew Wiggins was an all-star this year.
Right.
The dynamics of that Golden State Warrior team and that motion offense, it's beautiful.
Okay.
I was gonna
don't have much time.
Go.
Warriors, Boston, how many games? Who wins?
I go Warriors.
Of course you do. How many games?
I go Warriors in 5. Give it to
5
Jordan.
games?
Wow.
Yeah, I go Warriors in 5.
Wow.
I go Warriors in 5.
I love it.
That's
I love
brutal.
it.
Only a Lakers fan could say that.
only.
Oh my goodness.
Good stuff.
Yeah, but
All
Coach
right.
Willie, you're not going anywhere yet, all right? Because
Yeah.
we have something for you.
Stick around, because after the break, we'll shift to the PBA to see how the Phoenix Fuel Masters are gearing up for the upcoming All-Filipino Cup. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Welcome back. You're watching the game. We are days away from the opening of the PBA's 47th season, and the Phoenix Fuelmasters are hungry for redemption. Still joining us tonight is PBA champ Willie Wilson, who will be putting on his coaching hat rather to talk about what fans can expect from the Fuelmasters this conference. Coach, yeah, you know, it feels weird calling you coach right after the discussion we had that I called you a biased analyst for the Celtics against the Celtics.
I may be biased.
Yeah, it may be.
But hey, we all are. All us Laker fans are.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so the rosters are officially posted today, and the holdovers, I think a lot of Phoenix fans will be happy to see Matthew Wright. We'll be happy to see Jason Perkins. It feels like this lineup has a strong core. What do you make of the makeup of your team this time around?
Well, you know, we're really built to run. Okay, so you're going to see us pushing the pace. We're not one of the bigger teams in the PBA, so our system, offensively and defensively, obviously will be tailored to the personnel that we have.
All right, how about the new guys? Let's talk about the new guys. A lot of excitement for, you know, the draftees. Let's start with our good friend, 14th pick overall, Mr. Tea Time himself, Tyler Teo. Tell us about what you saw, why was he drafted, and then what are you seeing in practices, and what can we expect from Tyler?
Well, the biggest thing I want to point out is Tyler's a winner. Okay, so you can't deny that fact. He's won at the college level and decisively at that. He's very, very smart. Obviously, everybody knows he's a shooter. Okay, we're seeing the take charge mentality of him. Whenever he's inserted in the game or in practices, his ability to run the offense, put guys in their spots offensively, and he's a very, very good communicator defensively, which is a very welcome sight to see. Especially for us, we really want to put our hat on defense this conference.
He's also a good TV host and analyst. I know that doesn't matter for you guys at the moment, but
he may not have time anymore.
He doesn't have time for it.
He better not. He better not have time. He better not have time.
Don't take him away from my show.
Hey, priorities, baby.
I know.
So the other rookie that you have is Encho Serrano, who a lot of people were surprised. Dropped as far as he did, drafted 19th overall. I talked to some of the guys next to him during the draft and said that he was a bit nervous until you guys finally picked him up. Were you surprised to see him drop that far? How is he shaping up here going into the next season?
Oh, most definitely. We were pleasantly surprised to see him drop to us at that spot. In most draft projections, he was projected to go in the first round. He even won the MVP of the rookie camp. So with all that being said, for him to drop to us in the second round, it's a gift. And what we've been seeing with him was everything that he's shown in the PBA 3x3, that athleticism, that ability to get to the rim, that ability to rebound at his size, a la Scottie Thompson.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing to see it, and he just ups the energy every day in practice.
I just want to point out that we were just showing highlights of Encho Serrano playing against Limitless App Masters. So I know you had a front row view to all of that.
So he's happy that
he's happy that
I'm happy I don't have to play against him in the PBA 3x3, and I'm happy that he's playing for us at Phoenix.
Right. Okay, let's talk about All Filipino.
Yes.
What are we expecting from Phoenix? How are you approaching it? And is everybody going to be incorporated with this conference?
Well, you know, there are no easy games in the PBA. It's a very, very competitive league. Teams are getting more and more balanced as more draftees come in, as more players improve. We're pretty much working with the very same core that we had in the last season. We're offensively not veering too far away. Also from what we did in the previous conference, so that there's continuity with regards to the players that we're bringing into this conference and the system, offensively and defensively.
Well, of course, when you talk about the All Filipino Cup, they say it's the hardest to win because, there's no reinforcement, there's no X factor that comes in the form of the import. When you look at how everyone's coming into the camp in terms of health, in terms of the readiness, we all remember seeing Matthew Wright in the SEA Games and not completely healthy. How's the team looking from that front?
Well, I mean, we have Matt back from the SEA Games. He is healthy. As of the moment, there's a few bumps and bruises here and there, but for the most part, we're a healthy team coming into the season. No major injuries with any of the players. The projected starters are not, all there yet. Some pieces can still be moved here or there. But for the most part, we're very excited for this coming All-Filipino Conference, and it's going to be a very exciting team that we're going to be putting out there.
Well, June 5 is just around the corner.
Yep.
Is there enough time? And did you have enough time? And are you approaching practices differently with now a different composition also, a few pieces here and there?
Well, when you add 3 rookies, including Chris Lalata,
Yeah.
there's always going to be a lack of preparation. Every coach will always say that we haven't had enough time, but that can never be an excuse. We would always want more time, but with the time that we were given, I think it's adequate, and we really approached these practices to prepare the team and all the rookies to see the floor.
Of course, Phoenix have fallen short in the past few conferences, despite having relatively high potential, especially with guys like Perk, guys like Matthew Wright. When they hit their stride, you guys are hard to stop. What will be different this time around to make sure, or at least you're trying to break that ceiling and push further into the playoffs?
Well, we're hoping for roster continuity. You saw the movements that happened to us last conference.
Yeah.
I won't really go into detail on that, but when you have those types of movements in the middle of a conference with key guys, that really shakes up the dynamic in the team. Sometimes it can be a positive. For us, it really wasn't. Standings wise, so this conference we're hoping for more roster continuity, and I think that's going to really prove positive in pushing us over that top.
PBA opening happens on June 5. The Phoenix Fuel Masters will try and make it further into the All-Filipino in a way that you haven't done in recent history. So let's see and let's hope that happens really, really soon for you guys. All right, Coach, thank you very much for wrapping.
Thank you.
All right, when we return, we'll check in with the Philippine women's beach volleyball team who brought home their second straight hardware from the Southeast Asian Games. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
expected, ano po, rinig ba ako?
Yes,
oh,
yes.
rinig, yes.
Expected naman po yun. Kasi si Thailand, lagi naman yung sumasali sa mga tournament. Tapos si Vietnam, may bago silang head coach, which is nag-hire sila ng international coach. And si Indonesia din, nag-ensayo sila. Pero bago yung team to, kaya naka-adjust agad kami doon ni Ate Jo. Kasi mga bata din yung sa team 2 nila eh. Mas magulang maglaro yung team 1. So, yun mas expected namin na mas maganda yung laro kasi mas balance lang ba? I mean, hindi lamang, walang lamang. Ay, yung lahat nag-e-ensayo, lahat nag-prepare po sa SEA Games na yun.
Bernadette, lagi akong curious. Ano yung pakiramdam pagkalaban yung home team? When you're going up against yung mga Vietnam, nandun ang mga fans, tinalo nyo pa, di ba? Anong pakiramdam ng gano'n?
Normal lang na feeling. Kasi yung Vietnam, parang hindi sila marunong mag-cheer. Hindi kagaya ng mga Pinoy. Diba tayo, yung last year na SEA Games, last SEA Games, di ba? Pag dito sa atin, grabe talaga, mapipil mo talaga yung crowd na kasama mo sila habang naglalaro ka. Pero yung sa Vietnam, parang hindi. Mas malakas pa nga yung boses namin doon na iilan ng kaming mga Pinoy pag naglalaro yung Pilipinas. Hindi sila gano'n na nag-cheer talaga sa Vietnam. Doon sa beach pero sabi nila sa indoor daw, medyo madaming tao.
Diba?
Pero sa beach, hindi ganun ka, kaya parang hindi mo ma-feel na maraming crowd talaga. Parang normal lang na feeling na naglalaro ka lang sa loob ng court.
Alright, gets. Nice. Jove, syempre, this is your return to beach volleyball. Kamusta naman yung feeling na sa pagbalik mo, may medal ka?
First medal pa.
First medal, oo.
First sa SEA Games.
Iiyak na po yan.
Hindi, tapos naubos na ang luha ko. Actually, sobra siyang pressure sa part ko kasi bronze sila last year. So, ang bigat ng responsibility ko pagbalik. Kasi parang yung feeling na, ayun na nga, yung pressure na kailangan mag-step up ako and kailangan mamigay. Parang ano mo yung tumatakbo sa utak ko na paano kung hindi namin ma-maintain yung bronze. So, parang parang hindi talaga ako meant sa ganito. Alam mo, minsan naiisip ko at times na pag eto, hindi talaga kami nag-bronze, kusa na talaga ako magbe-beg mo. Mga ganong levels. Parang mga ganong levels na yung thinking ko that time.
Okay.
So, nung nag-bronze kami, sobrang tanggal talaga ng tinik sa dibdib ko na nung nakuha namin yung bronze. Sobrang happy talaga ako.
Well, happy
So, alam ko, nag-expect talaga din ng team na parang silver talaga actually yung goal ng team.
Yeah.
Pero para sa akin, part of me is compliance na siya sa akin. Kasi for so long, for more than
Correct.
10 years,
Tama.
first time ko nakakuha ng medalya. Yun.
Kaya we're very happy for you. Ako na lang iiyak para sa'yo, Jovi. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to the rest of the team
Thank
for
you
the
po.
medals. Sana next time dito tayo sa studio para mas masaya ang usapan. Maraming salamat.
Soon po,
And congratulations.
Soon.
Yes, soon. Thank you. And thank you everybody for watching and joining us. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
And I'm Paulo Del Rosario. This has been The Game.